If you are stuck in relationship ruts, it is not bad luck. It is patterns. Today, I'm going to break down the 2 things to help you save time and disappointment, whether you're currently in a relationship that you want to make better or finally attract that one you want to be with and have a thriving relationship. What I'm breaking down today is what I've experienced for myself, and it turns out most of my clients come to me stuck in relationship ruts. The first thing you have to know, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. That's why I said where you've been in a relationship is not bad luck, it is patterns. So let's start there. In order to change the current results in your relationship, you have to understand your patterns. So let's break down the 3 components that create every result in your life. And those are your dominant thoughts, but this is also about your beliefs. So especially in love and relationships, but this also occurs for money and business, because how you do anything is how you do everything. And it's the thoughts that you're thinking that then create your beliefs. Beliefs are just thoughts you've repeated over time. So the first domino in creating every result in your life is always thoughts. And it's your thoughts that then drive your emotional states. And it's your emotions that drive your behaviors. Literally, that's it, your habits. And it's these 3 combined that create every result in your life. So what we can do understanding this is we can backtrack it. If you're currently in unwanted relationships, or you just keep attracting the same one over and over, you have to understand your part in it. So here's how we backtrack it. You look at your current results. And this is what I did. I figured this out in my late 20s. I kept dating the same guy over and over, but his face changed. And at some point, I had to realize what was the common denominator in all of my relationships. It was me. And the common denominator in your relationships is you. So this isn't judgment and this isn't blame, and it's not about shaming yourself. It is about self-awareness, because awareness is the first step to creating any change in life. So I had to become aware. What in me keeps attracting? Now, this is what it was for me. I kept attracting emotionally unavailable, workaholic men that treated me like an option. And it felt terrible. So I allowed inconsistency. I allowed myself being available when it worked for them. And at some point, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired having these failed relationships. But I want you to do this too. Write pen to paper. What are the patterns that you keep coming up against? So, okay, then I had to ask, what in me is attracting these type of men? And here's the thing. In relationships, you can only attract what you believe is possible for you and a level of your self-worth. That's literally it. So if you believe love is unsafe, even if you really want it, you would sabotage an amazing partner because it's unfamiliar. So the other part in this is your nervous system, what it believes safe and what is familiar. So if drama and chaos is what's familiar, that's all you can continue to date. If dating emotionally unavailable workaholic men that treat me like an option is familiar, that's all that I could date. So the first step is you have to look at your patterns, and that's what I want you to do. Just look at your patterns and ask this question: what in me is attracting this outcome? What are my beliefs? What are my emotional states? Feeling unworthy, feeling not enough. And if we really get to the root cause, that's generally where it comes down to. So think about that. If you are coming from, if the current version of you, let's call this 1.0, ultimately feels, if we pulled back the layers, ultimately feels not enough, which is what I was. I didn't feel enough. I didn't feel I was pretty enough. I wasn't curvy enough. I wasn't successful enough, which is all BS, belief systems, and feeling unworthy. So if you feel these things, and this is what's happening in your subconscious mind, that's what's driving your identity, and your identity is what you can attract. You can only experience what is in alignment with who you believe you are. So that's step number one, becoming aware and clear of your patterns, because nothing changes if nothing changes internally. So this is always the first step. So I got really clear. Okay, I had beliefs that I wasn't worthy and deserving of a male's time and attention. And I realized I had created that story. So this is key here. Pay attention to the stories you tell. There's no good men or women out there. Men always cheat. Whatever your stories are, because you live into the stories you tell. Now, as an adult, I could see that a child, my younger self, created that story because my dad traveled a ton for work. My dad wasn't really around. So somehow that little girl, that young version of me, created a story. So this is unconscious, but it was deeply ingrained in my subconscious. Created a story, I'm not worthy and deserving of dad's time and attention. Well, of course that wasn't true. As an adult, I can see my dad did what he had to do to provide for his family, but a child does not know that. And generally speaking, it's those early primitive years that are driving your behaviors in adulthood in all of your life areas: health, money, and especially in relationships. So think about it like this. Of course your relationships fail because the 8-year-old version of you is what's driving it. So this is the realization you have to come to. Just becoming aware what's going on, what in me is attracting it, what are my dominant thoughts and emotional states, and what habits, what am I allowing? Am I constantly chasing, trying to get approval? And if that's not working, giving you unwanted results, well, then you have to change what's going on internally. This is always step one, and it's exactly what I coach my clients through. If you're ready to break through your relationships and get out of your own way, this is exactly what I coach my clients through. I invite you to apply by clicking on the link below in the description box, or you can visit my website, heatherhakes.com. If nothing changes internally, you can only keep repeating your patterns. So now let's get to step two, because this is step one, understanding you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are based on your identity, beliefs, and self-worth. Now let's get into step two, because had I really understood this many years ago, I would have saved myself a lot of time and disappointment. And what that is that I want to cover now is the idea of your values and non-negotiables. Now, this is not preferences. We're not talking about hair color or height. These are your values and non-negotiables. So let me give my real world experience. When I got really clear on my values, here are my values and what I really seek in a partner versus that surface level stuff that really in the end does not matter. I'm looking for longevity, not just connection. Chemistry 100% is part of it. You need to be attracted to your partner, but you've got to get below the surface level if you want it to last. So for me, my values when dating a partner are these. A growth mindset, this is huge, especially the work that I do. And I've previously dated guys that, that's just how it is, fixed mindset, living unconscious and autopilot. Well, clearly that does not align with me. And once you get really clear on your values, a lot of times the red and yellow flags that you ignored from the beginning are exactly what drive relationships to end. But once you get clear on your values, which become your non-negotiable standards, you can end relationships early, potentially after the first or second date. No judgment, it's just misalignment. So stop wasting your time hoping something can work out or seeing the potential. No, look at what is face value. Look at what is in front of you. So for me, it's growth mindset. It's a healthy, active lifestyle. So for me, as an example, and I previously have dated guys who drank a lot. Well, that just doesn't align with me. I don't want to be around it. So it's become a non-negotiable. This is a big one. Emotional intelligence. It's called EQ. Because look, a lot of times when you're emotionally reactive, and here's what happens. When conflict arises and you have an avoidant or somebody who runs, that's an avoidant. I want someone who is emotionally intelligent that knows how to respond, not react. And a communication is everything. And then another big one for me, really this is about lifestyle, but probably for myself, I want an entrepreneur or business owner who isn't stuck in a 9 to 5 with limited PTO. Only because I have been able to build for myself a laptop lifestyle and I don't want to be restricted to 2 weeks vacation. Now that's just an example. So for me, these are non-negotiables. I also have one. I was open-minded and I tried something new. So the big thing here is you have to try and create clarity on your non-negotiables. But my value, a non-negotiable, he can't already have kids. I do want my own, but I don't want to deal with baby mama drama, which I have dealt with in the past. So for me, my non-negotiable values that I now am very clear on. So if I were to meet somebody up front who already has kids, it's an immediate no. Somebody who doesn't have an active lifestyle, immediate no. Somebody who's in a 9 to 5 and like good with status quo, immediate no. Because for me, I'm all about growth and evolving and seeing my highest and greatest potential. And I don't want to be held back. I also know, now this is a belief, I know that there is an equivalent to me, somebody who meets me where I'm at, or maybe even like at a higher level that I want to grow and evolve with. Remember, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So if I really broke this down, in order to break free from your relationship ruts, you have to look at your current results. Understand your patterns based on your identity, your beliefs, and your habits. And if you're not happy, then you have to change from the inside out. It has nothing to do with your partner. You are only attracting a reflection on who you are being. I'm telling you, it's 100% an inside job. So number one, you have to shift the patterns. Number two, you have to get really clear on your values and standards and non-negotiables. And if you meet somebody who isn't in alignment, don't try to fit a square peg in a round hole. And a lot of men and women hope that they can change. They see potential. Never go into the relationship with the intention of wanting to change somebody. Accept them as they are, where they're at. And yes, people can grow and evolve, but not with the intention that they're not good, that they're not worthy and lovable just as they are right now. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What is your greatest takeaway? What have been your patterns keeping you stuck in those same patterns, attracting the same partner? And if you have any questions, be sure to drop them below in the comment box. Thanks for watching today's video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you're the first to know when new videos drop. And give me a thumbs up. I'll catch you on the next one.